Okay, today we're going to be working on the core. Our core, the center section of our bodies. It's really important to have a strong, healthy core to prevent injuries. We use our core in everyday life. We use it for sports, for fitness. Having a strong core will prevent back injury. If you do have back pain, strengthening your core could relieve pain. So it's really important to work it. So a lot of the poses we're going to be doing today will hopefully strengthen your core, not just your abs, but your abs and your back, this whole center section. So before we do that though, let's get centered. So begin seated on your mat in any comfortable seated position that you'd like today, and close your eyes and relax. Let your shoulders fall down away from your ears. Maybe tuck your chin slightly to lengthen the back of your neck. Bring your attention inward. Forget about what has happened in the past. Forget about what may happen in the future. And just be present here with me today on your mat, and breathe. Maybe your breaths are getting longer and slower. Continue to inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Maybe you notice your heart rate is slowing. And you're feeling more centered. Let's just enjoy this quiet time together. Go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to do some seated cat-cow stretches to get started. So inhale and bring your arms out to your sides. Go ahead and open up your chest, open up your heart, open up your throat, look up at the ceiling, and exhale, curl your spine, round your spine, bring the backs of your hands together in front of you. Then inhale back into your cow, looking up, arching your back, and exhaling into your cat stretch, curling forward, rounding your spine, bringing the backs of your hands together. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and open up, and exhale, curl it forward. 1 more time. Inhale, open up, look up, and exhale, round your spine, curl it forward. And coming into stillness. Okay, let's do some side stretches. So leave your left hand down on your mat and inhale your right arm up and over, getting a nice good stretch on the right side of your body. And then bend your right elbow and bring your hand behind your head. And then open up your heart, looking up, bringing your elbow back behind your head. And then exhale, curl it forward and bring your right elbow to your left knee and crunch it down in. And inhale, back up, open up. Look back at your elbow, your right elbow here, opening up your heart and exhaling, crunching it in, right elbow to left knee. And one more time. Inhale up, open up your heart. And exhale, curl it forward. Bringing your knee, your elbow down to your knee. And then coming back up to center. And we'll do the other side. So bring your right arm down to your mat. Inhale, your left arm up and over, leaning to the right, getting a good stretch on the left side of your body this time. And then bend your left elbow and put your left hand behind your head. And then open up your heart. Bringing that left elbow back behind your head. And then exhale, curl it in. Bringing your left elbow to your right knee. Crunch it in. Inhale, up and open. Open up your heart. Get a good stretch here. And curl it in. One more time. Inhale, open up. And exhale, curl it in. And then coming back up to center. Bring your palms together, curl your fingers, and then press your palms up into the air. Can you see my palms? Yes. Okay, get a good stretch here. And then we're gonna do some side stretches here. And you'll notice when we go to the side and then we pull back up, you're actually gonna be using your core strength a lot here to pull yourself back up. So inhale and lengthen. And exhale, just tilt to the right here. And then come back up to center. Use that core to pull yourself back up. And then the other side. Again, use the core to pull yourself back up. Let's do it again. Inside to, we're going to the right now. This time look down. And then coming back up to center and look down. And to the left, looking down into the center. This time let's look up. Looking up at your palms, bending to the right, looking up. This is a good neck stretch too. Use that core to pull you back up and then to the left. And use your core to pull you back up. There you go, very good. Okay, let's do a nice seated twist here. So your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you, sit up straight, and then turn to look back behind your right shoulder. A nice spinal twist here. And then coming back to center, and we'll do the other side. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, sitting up straight, turn to look back behind you. And coming back to center. Let's get a nice stretch on your legs here before we go any further. Let's do Badakanasana, that's bound ankle. So bring the soles of your feet together and then butterfly your knees up and down here. You can bring your heels as close to your body as you like. Your knees can come down as far as is comfortable for you. Okay, come to stillness and let's come to our hands and knees. We're going to be stretching the wrists here. So we're going to be doing some poses where you really need to have your wrists warmed up. So let's go ahead and rock our wrists back and forth here gently. And then turn your palms so your fingers are facing you, facing your body. And then gently just tilt back, getting a good stretch here on your wrists. Only come back as far as is comfortable for you. Remember, every body is different, every day is different. And then bring your palms so that your fingers are facing the sides of your mat. And we'll just gently rock back and forth here. Again, just getting a nice stretch for your wrists. And then bring your palms so they're facing the front of the mat again. And we're going to do some cat-cow stretches. So I'm going to move you here so you can see me a little bit better. Hopefully. So cat-cow, you're on at tabletop. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Your knees are directly under your hips. So inhale, relax your belly, open up your heart, open up your throat, arch your back into cow. Exhale, press the mat away, curl the spine, look at your belly button into cat. And 2 more times, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then let's just go ahead and do some circles here, circling one direction a few times. Again for your wrists, and then in the other direction a few times. And then coming to stillness. We're going to do thread the needle. So on an inhale, raise your right arm up into the air, open up your heart, look at your right hand, and then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your right shoulder underneath your body and gently lay down on your right shoulder. Make sure your hips are neutral here. They're not tilted to one side or the other. And you can bring your left hand out at a diagonal to your body, or maybe closer to your face, maybe pushing the mat away, looking up at the ceiling, or bringing that left arm behind your body and grasping onto your right thigh, getting a good shoulder and neck stretch here. My microphone is right here, so I'm trying not to speak too loudly when my mouth is close to the microphone. Okay, take your left hand back down to the mat and use that hand to push you back up to tabletop position, and we'll do the other side. So inhale your left arm up into the air, opening up your heart, looking at your left hand, and then go ahead and thread the needle. Bringing that left shoulder down to your mat, lying gently down on your left shoulder. Hips are neutral. Right hand can be at a diagonal to the body, close to the face, maybe pushing the mat away and turning your head to look up at the ceiling. Or maybe that left arm is back behind you, grasping onto your left thigh. Getting a good shoulder and neck stretch here. And then use your right hand to push the mat away, coming back up to tabletop. And we're going to do some Sunbird now with some crunches. So first, bring your right foot back behind you. I think I'm going to need to move you one more time. But no worries, right? Because you can hear me because I have a microphone. Yes? Yes, okay. So we're going to do Sunbird. So you're in tabletop position. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Your knees are directly under your hips. Bring your right foot back behind you, and let's get a good calf stretch here before we go further. So rocking back and forth, stretching your right calf, your right toes, and then raise your right foot, flexing, raising your right leg and flexing your right foot. Then bring your left arm up, gazing out over your left fingertips. And then we're going to crunch 5 times. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale out, exhale in, and back to tabletop. And we'll do the other side. So this time bring your left toes back, and let's just rock back and forth, getting a good stretch on your left calf and your left toes this time. Rocking back and forth. And then raise your left leg, flexing your left foot. Raise your right arm up, gazing out over your right fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. 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 One more time. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, curl it in. And coming back up to tabletop. Okay, we're going to bring your right toes out to your right side of your body. We're doing gait pose here. So go ahead and lengthen your left leg back. Bring your left arm up above your head. And we're going to do some crunches here. So inhale, lengthen everything out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl it in. 2 more times. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. And coming back to tabletop, and we'll do the other side. So gait pose on the other side. Go ahead and lengthen everything out. Your right arm, your right leg are lengthened. And then curl it in. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. And coming back to tabletop, we're going to press back into child's pose. So go ahead and let's do a wide knee child's pose. So knees are spread wide, toes are together. Come down into child's pose. This is our resting pose. Feel free to come into child's pose anytime you need a break. And come up onto your fingertips, and let's go ahead and walk over to the left side and then press back down. Coming back up onto your fingertips, go ahead and walk over to your right side and come back down. And then coming back into center. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So go ahead and curl your toes and press your hips up into the air. And this is our first downward dog of the practice. So let's keep our knees generously bent here. Arms are straight, palms are spread wide, ears between your biceps. Pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Go ahead and pedal your feet. Maybe shake your head yes and no very gently, just to loosen up your neck. Then coming into stillness, go ahead, press forward into plank position here. Hold your plank steady. And then bring your knee to your nose, right knee to your nose, and then lengthen it out. Right knee to right elbow, lengthen it out. Right knee to left elbow, and lengthen it out. And then bring your right foot up between your palms and come up into runner's pose. So feel some buoyancy here. You should be up on your fingertips. Your heart is open wide to the front. And let's just rock back and forth a little bit, getting a nice good stretch on your left calf. And then we're going to rise up into a high lunge. Your right leg is bent, left leg is straight behind you. And we're going to do a balancing pose here with some crunches. So go ahead and bring your left knee up and balance.
So balance here. And now we're going to do some crunches. So inhale, lengthen your arms up over your head, and exhale, crunch it in. Inhale up, exhale, curl it in. Inhale up, exhale, curl it in. 2 more times. 1, crunch, and 2, crunch. Go ahead, bring your arms back up above you, and we're going to bring your left leg back to that high lunge, but bring it back ever so slowly, slow, 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 as slow as you can, and then bring it down. You're back into your high lunge here, and bring your hands down to the mat. Keep your left hand on the mat and inhale your right arm up and look up at your right hand for a simple twist here. And then bring your right hand down. Bring your right leg back to meet your left into a high plank. And we're going to do some plank circles here. Circling to the right a few times. And then to the left. And then coming into stillness. And you can lower your knees here if you want, or keep them up. Do your chaturanga, your yogi push-up. And then you can come into cobra or up dog. Curl your toes, coming back into downward facing dog. Coming back into plank. This time, bring your left knee to your nose, and then back to your left elbow, and back to your right elbow, and back. And then bring your left foot in between your hands, coming up to your runner's lunge again. Up on your fingertips, maybe rocking back and forth a bit. Get a good stretch on your right calf. And then coming up into that high lunge. Feeling some buoyancy here. And we're going to do that balance again. This time bringing your right knee up and balancing on your left leg. Okay, balance here. Really good for your core to balance. And we'll do those crunches. So inhale, lengthen your arms up. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale up. Exhale, curl it in. 3 more times. 1, and up. 2, and up. 3, and up. Okay, we're going to bring your right foot back behind you into that high lunge again. But again, ever so slowly, bring that right foot back. There you go, back into your high lunge. Bring your palms down to the mat, keeping your right palm down this time. Inhale and bring your left arm up. Oh, I hope you can see my crunches. I hope I wasn't out of the camera angle. This is simple lunge here. Simple twist, I'm sorry. Then bring your left hand down. Bring your left foot back to meet your right, and we'll do those plank circles again. Circling one direction a few times. And then the other direction a few times. And then doing our vinyasa, knees up or down. Chaturanga, into cobra or up dog. And curl your toes and press back into downward facing dog. And we'll hold it here for 3 full breaths. Bring your right foot up between your hands, followed by your left foot into forward fold. Crown of your head is Palms down to your mat, towards your mat. Hips are up towards the sky. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms coming together. Bring your palms down into heart center. Release your arms down. We're coming into mountain pose, feeling grounded here just for a moment as we come into our sun salutations. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive over, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms coming together. Bring your palms down to heart center. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive over. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, swan dive over. This time, bring your right foot way back behind you. Coming up into runner's lunge momentarily. Then coming up into your high lunge. Rotating your right foot back. Coming into warrior two. Left leg is bent. Right leg is straight. Arms out to the sides of your body. Arms energetic. Roll your shoulders down and back. And then inhale, straighten your left leg, bring your arms up over your head. And exhale, press it back down to warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. And then we're going to go into reverse warrior. So lean back with your left hand. Right arm goes up and over your face. Your left leg is still bent here. Reverse warrior. And then back to warrior two. And bring your elbow, left elbow to your knee. Bring your right arm up into the air or up over your head into a side angle. And then coming back to warrior two. Rotate back to your high lunge. Bring your hands down to your mat. Bring your left foot back to meet your right into a high plank and into your chaturanga. Cobra or up dog here. And pressing back into downward facing dog for 3 full breaths before we go into the other side. And bring your right foot up between your hands, followed by your left foot into forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Palms up, gaze up. Palms together, down to heart center. Back down to tabletop. Back down to mountain pose. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. This time bring your left foot way back to behind you. You're back into your runner's lunge momentarily. And coming up into high lunge. Into warrior two. Roll your shoulders down and back away from your ears, gazing out over your right fingertips. Inhale, lengthen, straighten your right leg, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. and side angle. And back to warrior two. Coming back into your high lunge. Back into your runner's pose. Bring your right foot back to meet your left into a high plank, into your vinyasa, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and back into downward facing dog. And we'll hold it here for 3 full breaths. And look forward, bring your right foot up between your hands, followed by your left foot into forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms coming together, down to heart center. And we're going to be doing chair pose. So go ahead, your feet can be together or about hip width apart, whatever feels good to you. And go ahead and sit back into your imaginary chair. Spine should be straight. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, coming up. And we'll do that one more time with a twist. So go ahead and sit back into your imaginary chair. Then we're going to twist to the left. Coming back into center. And then twist to the right. And coming back to the center. Go ahead and rise up. Inhale, raise your arms up over your head. Palms together, gazing up. Exhale, bring your arms down to your sides, gaze down. And let's just hold it here in mountain pose for a couple breaths. We're going to be going into some balancing poses. So if you need to, if you're on a cushy mat like me, you might want to step off your mat. And we're going to begin with tree pose, and then we'll move into eagle pose. I don't know if I'm too close to you. Maybe back here is a little bit better. So ground down with your right leg and bring the left sole of your foot either to your ankle or to your calf or to your inner thigh, rotating that left knee out to the side. And you can bring your palms together at heart center, or maybe you'd like your arms up over your head, or maybe even spreading your branches wide here. And this is all really, balancing poses really work your core. You have to engage your core to keep your balance. And if you wiggle, that's great. If you fall out of it, that's fine. Just come back into it. That's all part of tree pose. It's part of balance poses. And go ahead, come out of it, and let's shake it out a bit. Shake, 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 shake. And we'll do the other side. So this time, ground down with your left leg, bringing the right sole of your foot to your shin or your calf or your inner thigh, rotating that right knee out to your side. Hands at heart center, or perhaps up over your head. Just wanted to show you. So when you're in a balancing pose and it's not challenging, you don't work your core too much, right? But if you challenge yourself, if you imagine that you're a tree and the wind is trying to break your branches, it's really blowing you around, maybe it's a typhoon, you can see that the more I shake, the more I wiggle, the more it works my core.
So remember that. If you're shaking a lot, if you're wiggling, trying to get your balance, that's really good actually, because you're working your core. And come out of that and shake that out. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, we're coming into eagle now. So cross your right foot in front over your left foot. If you can hook your right foot behind your left leg, or you could just leave it as a little tripod here on the left side. And then bring your arms out in front of you, palms facing each other, and your left elbow goes over your right elbow. Cross your forearms and bring your palms together. This is eagle arms. And then sink down into your pose, eagle pose. Another great balancing pose. And again, the more you wiggle, the more you work your core. Hold it here for just a bit longer. Sinking down into the pose as far down as you can get. And then coming back up, unraveling everything and shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, we'll do the other side. So this time, bring your left foot over your right. Again, you can just keep your left toes like a tripod. Is that what it's like, a tripod? Like a kickstand, maybe? Or you can wrap your foot all the way around. Bring your arms in front of you, palms facing each other. And this time, bring your right elbow over your left elbow, crossing your forearms, palms together, and then sinking down. Down as far as you can. Use your core, focus, balance, core strength here. Eagle pose, one of my favorites. And then coming out of that, unraveling everything and shaking it all out. Shake, shake, shake. Let's do some overhead stretches. So arms up over your head, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, arms down, gaze down. One more time. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, arms down, gaze down. Okay. You know, to work your abs, you got to do planks, right? We did some plank circles. We did some knee to elbow, knee to nose. That's all good, but we're going to do a little more plank. So we're going to come back down. I know plank is everybody's favorite, right? So coming back down to plank. Can you see me? That's good enough. Okay, we're in plank here, and let's again, starting with your right knee to right elbow, and back, right knee to left elbow, hover, and back, and then bring your right knee all the way through to pigeon pose. So bring it through, and coming on down. So not too much plank there, right? That was okay. Okay, we're in pigeon pose. This is a really good hip opening stretch. Your hips should be neutral here. Don't be leaning to one side or the other. If you'd like, you can bring your heel closer to your groin here, and maybe bending your left leg and reaching back to grab a hold of it, getting a nice quad stretch here. Really good for runners. Maybe you want to come down a little bit lower. Let's go ahead and release that. Go ahead and come down as far as is comfortable for you to get a really good stretch on your right hip here. I'm going to hold it here for just a couple more breaths. We want our hips to be nice and open.
for some of the poses we have coming up. Right, and coming back up, and let's go back into our plank. So bring that right foot back into high plank, and this time bring your left knee to your nose and back to your left elbow, hover and back, and to your right elbow and hover and back, and then bring it all the way through to pigeon on the other side. Sometimes a block is helpful here. You can sit up straight. Maybe bending your right leg this time, reaching back, grabbing your right foot, getting a good quad stretch on the right side. Oh, I cannot talk today. Maybe coming forward a little bit, getting a deeper stretch here. And letting go of that quad. And let's go ahead and come all the way down, or down as far as you want to in your pigeon. And we'll hold it here just for a few breaths. All right, pushing back up. And then bring your right leg up to the front, followed by your left. We're coming into boat pose. So boat pose is really good for your abs. So you're going to balance on your sacrum here. Bringing your right leg up, followed by your left leg. If you need to, you can hold your thighs here. If you are strong and flexible, you can lengthen your legs here, lengthen them out instead of keeping them bent. I'm going to leave mine bent. And then if you can, bring your arms out in front of you and balance. Again, use your core here to balance. And then bring your left arm to the left side, right arm to meet your left together. And then back to center, and then to the right, and hold it. And back to center. Then cross your right foot over your left foot, and then just come on up. If you can, if you're strong enough, you can lift your feet up off the mat. I can't very well. And then come back into boat pose again. First your legs, and then your arms. And this time we'll start on the right side, and then center, and then the left side, and then center. This time, cross your left foot over your right, and come back up, maybe balancing. I did it a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do rollbacks next. So with rollbacks, it's really a nice massage for your spine. It's important though to keep your head tucked. Don't try to look back behind you to see what's back there. There's nothing back there, don't worry about it, okay? And we're gonna do 5 rollbacks, and every time you come up, balance. Because when you come up and balance, you're actually using your core a lot. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do 5 of these. So go ahead and start. 1, balance. 2, balance. 3, and balance. 4, balance. And 5, and balance. I'm gonna do one more. These feel so good to me. And balance. And then let it go. I really like that. That's one reason I have a cushy mat, is because some poses like that,
Really helps to have a cushy mat. Okay, so we are now going to go into some stretches to get us ready for wheel. Okay, so for wheel, we're gonna have to have our shoulders really open. We're gonna have to have our hips really open. Our wrists are gonna have to be flexible and ready. So the first pose we're gonna do is puppy pose. So puppy pose is similar to child's pose, but we leave our hips up. We don't bring them down. So bringing your arms out in front of you and just pressing down with your heart. Bringing your heart down to the mat and your forehead, and I will try not to talk too loudly into my mic. Stretch your shoulders here. Stretching your chest. And then coming up, and we're gonna go ahead and lie all the way down, and we're gonna do Sphinx pose here. So bring your elbows so they're just underneath your shoulders, palms press down on the mat, and then go ahead and open up your chest and, you know, pull back with your palms towards your body. And you feel really nice, good stretch on your lower back here. This is Sphinx pose, really nice. Okay, and then coming all the way down onto your belly. Bring your arms out at a T position to your body. And then bend your left elbow and press down with your left hand and roll over onto your right side. And then bring your left foot back behind you and get a good stretch on your right shoulder here. That right arm is straight out at a T position to your body. It's a really good shoulder stretch. I'm going to hold it here for just a couple more breaths. Okay, go ahead and roll over onto your belly and move to the other side. Arms at a T position. This time, bend your right elbow, roll over it onto the left side of your body, and bring your right foot down. And get a good shoulder stretch on your left shoulder this time. And coming back to center. Okay, we're going to come over onto our backs. We are coming into first a bridge and then a wheel. And I think I might have to raise you up. It seems like you are a little too close. Again, I really got to work this out. Okay, for bridge, you are flat on your back. Your knees are bent, your fingertips are touching your heels, and then you raise your hips up into the air and shimmy your shoulders underneath your body, clasping your hands together, puffing out your chest into bridge pose or any variation of bridge that you like. For a more restorative version, you can place a block under your hips. Sometimes, if I don't have my block handy, I'll just use my hands to support my hips. Hold it here for one more breath. And then go ahead and gently lower all the way down. Okay, don't bring your knees to your chest yet. I know that is something you may feel like you want to do, but we are going to do another back bend. So this time we're coming into wheel pose. If wheel is not in your practice, feel free to do bridge pose or any other back bend that you'd like to do.
But for wheel pose, go ahead and put your palms of your hands on either side of your head. Your fingertips are facing your feet. And then just like with bridge pose, you just raise your hips up into the air and then press your whole body up. You can start up on your head and then press all the way up into your wheel. Arms can be straight or bent. This is a great back bend. I'm feeling a little weak today. It's not been a great week for me, but I can tell you right now, this pose feels amazing to me. Feels like it's energizing me right now to get me through the rest of the day. And then to come out of wheel, go ahead and tuck your chin, bend your arms, and come down gently, as gently as you can. And that is wheel pose. Okay, now you can bring your knees to your chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. I'm trying not to talk too loudly into my microphone. And then bring your feet down to the mat, and we'll do figure 4 stretch. So bring your right shin to your left knee, and then bring your left knee into your chest. You can grasp behind your left thigh or your left shin into a nice figure 4 stretch. And we'll hold it here for a little while. No more challenging poses. Just cooling down now, getting ready for our Shavasana. Your head and shoulders should be down on the mat. This again is a very intense hip stretch. We hold a lot of tension in our hips, especially those of us that work in offices seated, or those of us that are on the road a lot driving. Those hips can get really tight. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So bring your right foot down, bring your left shin to your right knee, and then bring that right knee up towards your chest into figure 4 stretch. Again, head and shoulders are on the mat. And breathe into it. Focus on that area that feels really tight and try to guide your breath there. And relax into it as much as you can. Relax into it. Don't overdo it. We're cooling down. What may have felt good to you yesterday may not feel good to you today. And vice versa. For me, usually getting up into wheel is very easy, but today I had to pause on my head and then push up, and I've never had to do that before, so it hasn't been the greatest week for me, but once I got up into wheel pose, I straightened my arms. It did feel really good. Okay, coming out of this now, we're gonna do a spinal stretch here. So lengthen your legs and then bring your right knee into your chest and give it a good hug. Maybe bringing it even out towards your armpit. And then use your left hand to pull your right knee over to the left side of your body. And then bring your right arm out to your side and gaze out over your right fingertips for a lying spinal twist. And go ahead and come back to center.
hugging that right knee back into your chest. And then go ahead and switch sides. Extending your right leg, bringing your left knee to your chest. Giving it a good hug, maybe bringing it even out a little wider, closer to your left armpit. And then use your right hand to pull that left knee over to the right side of your body. Bringing your left arm out to your side and gazing out over your left fingertips. Almost ready for our Shavasana. If there's any other twist that you'd like to do now instead of this, please feel free to do so. This is your practice. I'm just a guide. And coming back to center and giving that left knee a hug into your chest. And bringing both knees into your chest. Curling up, bringing your nose to your knees. And then let's go into our happy baby. So bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceilings. You can grasp onto your thighs, pulling your knees down towards your armpits, or maybe grabbing onto your ankles or the soles of your feet and pulling down. Feet are flexed. Soles of your feet up towards the ceiling and maybe rocking back and forth here. Again, a great reason to have a nice cushy mat. Coming into stillness. And then hugging your knees in. Let's curl it up into a tiny little ball. Curl everything in, tense everything. Oh, sorry if I'm talking too loud. Tense, tight, tight little ball. Curl it in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release everything out. Legs out, arms out. Take up room on your mat. Open up your legs, open up your arms, palms facing out. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Maybe lift your chest up and then lay it back down. Tuck your chin slightly to lengthen the back of your neck. And sink down into your mat. Close your eyes. And relax your whole body. Letting your feet fall out naturally to the sides. And breathe. And enjoy a few minutes of stillness and peace. And bringing your awareness back into the room. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms up over your head and get a good full body stretch. Just yawn it out like you've just woken up from an amazing nap. Bend your knees. Roll over to one side into a fetal position. Use your bottom arm as a pillow and just lie there just for a few moments. There's no need to rush. Using your top hand, push the mat away and come up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together at heart center and thank yourself for completing this somewhat challenging practice with me. Thank yourself for strengthening your core. I hope you come back to this practice again and work on these poses and work on your core. Have faith in yourself. Know that even if you're not having a great week or a great day, you can still do something to make yourself feel better. Maybe just coming onto your mat and taking a few deep breaths. Maybe just doing some of these poses that we did together today. I want to thank you for practicing with me today. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live a life of ease. Namaste.